Oh, another flathead, Justin. Another flathead. Another flathead, bud.
I'm Cope.
I'm Bryson.
And this is Catfish Killer Outdoors. Today we're going to be running drop lines and drop lines.
We're going to be going against our buddies, Bodie and Cash.
And we're going to go catch some perch.
We're going to go fishing, and we're going to drop this boat in the water, and we're going to see what we do.
Sir. So I'm Cope, and this is how I'm going to be catching the perch for our little fishing tournament here.
So I wasn't catching any fish over there, so we got to go to a bit more extreme edges. So I think right off the bridge would be just about perfect. What I like to do when I'm casting is we get one, all the way down, all the way down to three, and then drop down here again. I just go ahead and let her go, perfect circle. Let's see, we got ourselves in that here. Tree. Well, we'll keep trying.
And keep feeling about this one. But yeah, off to the next one.
So fishing off the top of that bridge, I caught a little one. Bryson's definitely beating me up with the Rio though, so.
Is it a little tight up there?
Yeah, just a little bit. We'll put him in the live well. Check it out, we got it running off our one right now. But yeah, here I'll show you how it's a Rio. This looks like a female, you can tell by the lighter color. Look how big his head is, and you see all these spots? They're a lot different than a bluegill because well, they got a longer top fin in here, and they'll always have like a black spot in them, and they have all these little white spots all over them. So that's how you can tell. The males are usually darker, and they have a way more defined black spot on the end with a more of a bull head. But yeah, this is a nice female. Be a great flathead bait. So,
God damn.
So obviously my brother will bleep that out. But we're using smaller hooks now because these perch have such small mouths. They're pretty big perch, but we were using too big of hooks. So you go to a smaller hook and we'll start catching them. We got about 5 perch on the live well now.
And we only have to catch 45 more.
We have to catch 45 more. There's been absolutely no cussing each other out or anything of that sort.
Not yet.
If we don't start catching perch. So.
Let's see if I catch him. I'm feeling this one.
Yeah, so, and you can just see how quickly he gets bites, so go ahead and just watch. It should take just a few.
Got one.
Just like that.
Just like that. But
Now we gotta do that 44 more times?
44.
So folks, this is what I'm talking about with the smaller hooks. This is another Rio Grande we got here. You can just see how much big belly and more meaty they are than a bluegill. I'll show you here in a second. I'll go grab one there out of the live well. But it's Rios all day long. Now we can't tell you our secret spot, but we look climbing it.
Why?
I got us another one.
So, okay, this is a perfect example. So this here is a bluegill. If you would stop moving. You see the difference between a bluegill and a Rio? Come up close here, Justin. So you can just see the difference. This is a Rio Grande here in my right hand, and here on my left is a bluegill. You can just see how much more meaty these Rio Grandes are than these old bluegill. But yeah, so this is a great flathead bait here. So we'll put them in there. Multi-step process. You're gonna start getting into the water, obviously make sure there's no leaks. Then you gotta load everything in the boat, like hooks, bait, all that sort of thing. But yeah, got our trolling motor mounted up here. Alright, so if you turn the camera around us and you see this, look in the water, you see that guy? That is exactly what we're looking for. You a branch high enough off the water with a split. And so that's exactly where you tie your line. So I'm gonna do my depth gauge here again. It ain't much, but. So right here, it's not that deep. It's only about that. But I'm telling you, even though it's only about, I'd say 3 feet, even though it's only about 3 feet, there's still stuff that lives here. So, hopefully not just perch. And it's probably about 4 foot off the water. I'll add another foot just for safe measure so we can tie. No, but that was off the water measurement. And now we'll do here. We'll obviously be able to tie it up if we need to. And I don't want to be too short. I want to be close to the bottom as you can. And for this one, I'm actually going to throw a weight on the bottom. Because you see this tree right here? We don't want the catfish tangling itself around that. That'd just be a pain in the butt to get on out.
Hopefully it tangle itself without weight.
So, you see this? This is a... This is where I'm going to put my staging. For my weight at least. Always wet your stagings. This is a staging right here. You can slip it right through this hole. You go around, pull through, like this, slip knot. And then when you come to the, it'll never pull this off, but when you come to the boat, you just go like this and it just drops it. So it's easy to get undone.
But they're very strong knots.
It's a very strong knot. So a fish won't get it off, but a human can. Just do that. Lower that sucker to the bottom there. Come to the top. Probably didn't need to wait for this one. Okay. Come to the top here. It'd be great if Bryson quit shaking the boat.
That's all it is.
Like that, same thing. Slip knot, just like that. Pull it tight. We're gonna grab ourselves a piece just like this, and to tie our staging too, we're gonna wrap around like that, just like that.
What do we want?
Let's do live. All these drops, we're gonna aim to do live bait, and the reason for that is. Every flathead truly loves live bait.
How big are we thinking? Just do this one.
This one ain't too deep, so let's just do little bluegill. We'll save the Rios for later for the trot line.
The one we're feeling good about?
For one we're feeling good about.
Oh, you almost lost him.
I did almost lose it.
That looks up.
Like I said on that last one, I'm gonna stick it right through the head, but not low enough to where it can't breathe. And just under the water, you see that? And what that weight does is keeps him from wrapping himself around the line. It's just going to keep spinning on that swivel, and he won't be able to wrap himself. Yeah, so Justin turned the camera around. Y'all see this? This is absolutely beautiful fishing territory. I couldn't imagine something better. You see that tree overhanging the water? Try to zoom in on that sucker, Justin. Look at that. That's going to be a money tree. Bait. Right in the middle of the river. If we can get up there. Sure, Bodie. It's right in the middle of the river. Alright, guys. This guy is going to be a big bait for hopefully what will turn out to be a big fish.
Stupid fucking cunt.
Beating that out. And we're back. Look at this Mac Daddy of a bait. Huge, alright? Absolutely enormous.
Huge.
Just need to hook on the right spot. Oh yeah, buddy. Woo, woo, woo. That's gonna be a big one. I'm not doing that. Alright, So as you see, there's this giant log tree overhanging the water. What we're gonna do here is put our last big Mac Daddy on that we have, perch wise. We got another Rio in there. What I like to do with these hooks, going around like this. And want this one sit on the bottom. So right here into this log is about 6 foot of water. And for this river, that is amazing. So we're gonna put our last big Mac Daddy perch on here.
If I can find it.
If Bryson can find him. That's our slip knot we got there. So that's gonna get censored out. Once again. Mac Daddy number 2. Look how white and pearly she is. That's a girl. That's a female Rio right there. So we're gonna hook her in the same spot, right up top, next, close to the head, and hopefully that's gonna be a big Rio tomorrow morning.
We're trying to catch her over here.
We're gonna drop it right there. And look at that. Alright people, so this is a trot line. We're gonna go from here to that tree right over there. And so it's gonna go across the river and it's gonna be weighted right in the middle so it stays close to the bottom so any boats or anything that come by here don't hit it.
How many hooks are we doing?
We're gonna do probably, I think 5 hooks to reach across here. There's gonna be 5 hooks sitting across the bottom. So Flathead usually waits for stuff to come to them. And of course, unless they get really hungry, they'll go to it.
Thank you. I would have never done that here.
And so we're gonna get Bryson here to shoot us across the river. And we're gonna tie to this side and to that side first, and then we're gonna run it back and set all our stuff in the middle. So we always, for a trot line, we always run them first. We always run the line across and tie it on both ends, and then we go and set hooks and weights and all of that. You see these? These are swivels. So we tie our hooks and weights to it. So you see how I ran across the water here? Turn around, just like that. We're gonna allow about 5 foot in the middle. So we're gonna allow probably 5 foot of extra length, and then we're gonna tie it up. And what that 5 foot extra length does is sends it to the bottom when we put a weight on it. So we'll do that. Cut it around about 5 foot there. 5 extra foot. Just like that. Start over here again. No. Hold down. Yeah. I think 6 drop lines. Just like so. We're gonna run our hooks and weights. And then for this hole, we're done. Good morning, folks. This is day 1 check. So yesterday was set day. Today is the first day of checking lines. We're gonna have 2 days of that. This is a little 2-day fishing tournament. So tomorrow will be our last day and pull-out day. That's the day we'll pull out lines. But filling up the boat now. We don't have another boat this morning. This is a different part of Medina River. So we're on a different part. We're just getting it all filled up. We're gonna get the boat on the water. We're gonna get started. Bryson is not with us this morning. He had work. He did set lines, so whatever fish we catch, we will let him know, and that whatever fish we catch, we will let him know, and that will be his fish too, even though he's not here this morning. But anyway, we're gonna get out there. Thank you. Yeah, so folks, we're gonna start off with catching a little bit of perch here. Start off with catching a little perch here for some bait. Me and my guys up here, there, and then we're gonna get back on the water. So we're gonna rebait, or we are on the water, but we're gonna start off with catching some bait to rebait all our lines. Make sure that's all good and running. Get y'all to start seeing catfish that we catch. And just like that, folks, there we go. Here's number 5. So, got them all here in this here bucket. And, well, that'll be it for now. So every time some of these bigger whiteys will swallow the hook, and you see when they're bleeding like that. So we still keep them. We don't waste that perch, but what we do with that is we'll end up cutting that, and that'll be, we call that fresh cut. So it's cut from when they are alive. They're freshly cut. You'll see this is a burlap sack. And what this is going to do is when we catch those catfish, we're going to soak it in water like this, get this burlap sack all wet. And what that does is it keeps that old catfish all moist and saturated so it doesn't dry out and die. I have enough catfish in the freezer right now from past fishing tournaments that I don't need to keep it. So what I do is I throw that old burlap sack over them, they don't dry out. And they don't dry out, and I get to set them back here in this nice river we got here. Anyway, we're going to get to our first line. We'll see y'all there. Alrighty folks, so we're pulling up on our first line here. Just so you can turn the camera around. I don't know if they can see it, but it's right here. Here's the thing. Yeah. I would watch your head here. Trying to get around to it. This motor doesn't work very well for me. So, we obviously don't have fish on every line, but it doesn't look like we have fish on this line either. We have hit a few, but we will notify y'all when we get our first one. So as you see, we had live bait on here. We had one cut and one live on bottom. We're going to keep that cut bait on, but something got that live bait. What we're going to do here, we're going to grab another one, another live, throw it right on. As always, straight through there at the top of the head, just below the spine, so they're still live. You go on it, throw it back, whichever way that line is facing. Right back there in the water. And we're going to get out of here to the next line. Alright folks, we're coming up here on our trout line. And I'm not a big dry wolf guy, but it looks pretty tight up along that tree as you can see. And there's weight on the bottom, but it wasn't that tight yesterday. Justin, I may run you into this tree here. That's on purpose. So I can swing myself towards this line. I'm going to kill this motor here. We're just going to start off by grabbing this line. We're going to work our way down. So you see that perch? He's pretty mauled up by some turtles. My best guess. Justin, it's gonna hit you, but we're gonna go over the boat. Keep going down sideways. We got some missing baits here. We may have to come back down. I'm running out of bait. We'll have to come back down and bait the rest that are empty. But this is just how you run the trout line. You just keep going down with it. As long as you not feel too much weight, which I don't, you can keep running it. It doesn't look like too much is on here. Oh, we may have one fish down there. I don't know how big he is, but he's pulling just a tiny bit. What would stoke me much is if it was a flathead. But I don't know what it is. Oh, buddy, we have a fish. Let's see what we got. Oh, buddy, look at what we got here. Whoa! Oh, Justin, it's a flathead! Woo! Look at that! I'm down that draw line, buddy! Woo! We got ourselves a flathead, Judson! Ain't that something? So remember, people, I was telling you about them slip knots. Watch this. Right off the hook, and there he is laying in the boat. We got a flathead. Isn't that something? I haven't caught a flathead in I don't know how long. We are definitely rerunning this line. Look at that, and a little blue. Yes, sir, Judson. That's what I'm talking about, Bubba. We'll sling him on in the boat here. Look at that. Heck yeah. Just a little blue cat.
They're both afraid of the camera. They don't want to show
Yeah.
their faces.
They're both a little camera shy. They don't want to. Exactly right. So what we're going to do here, we're going to try to lay this on the boat as best we can. We're going to wrap it around both corners here. Actually, we're probably going to scoot down a little bit. I'm going to wrap these guys in a burlap sack so they do not. Let me get them straight here. I'm going to wrap both these suckers in a burlap sack so they don't die. Catfish can live a long time out of the water as long as they stay moist. And I'll show you all this catfish here in a second. Let me tie this up. The reason I'm tying this up is because I need to get some more bait to run this trot line again. Remember, even though we caught a fish, it's not our only fish. We're gonna have a couple more days of this. Alright, I'll show you all this flathead here. They're just beautiful, beautiful fish. You can tell by the flathead one gets the name. Some people call him a yellow cat. They got quite a bit of hair. Of course, they sure are feisty when it comes to it, huh? But let's check out that flathead. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna get this burlap sack real moist again. There's no point in keeping this blue because it's obvious that this flathead is bigger than this little blue cat. But it's on video that we do have a blue. So that's pretty cool, but I'll let him back go. So that's a blue cat there. Let him go back in the water. I'm gonna get this burlap sack even more wet. Remember, we do not want these fish dying. We're just gonna lay this in the boat and wrap him in it and lay him on top. Lay it over him. Remember, people, he is moist, so he will not die. Just up a little more, just to be safe and sure. I'm gonna put this back in here. I'm gonna try to catch some more bait. Rerun this line. I think we got one more hook down there to check for this hole, and then I'm gonna take y'all to the hole that we set lines at tomorrow. I'm sorry. We're gonna take y'all to the hole that we set lines at yesterday. And let's hope we have a lot bigger one there. Alright guys, so you weighed 9.5 pounds. No, we didn't get a video of that. Or what would you say, 9 or 9.5?
I would say 9.5.
We'll just go with 9, we won't up it any. But yeah, he was 9 pounds. We're gonna let him go here. And we're gonna go rebait all the hooks, and then we're gonna go to the other hole. But yeah, here's that old catfish. Got timid about my leg. Pretty nice sucker. We'll release him back in the water here. What we do, we get all that air out of him, and back and forth. And it'll revive him just enough to where he can swim on. Just like that. Well, folks, we'll see you at the next one. Hey guys, I almost forgot one of my drop lines, so I couldn't see it. It was wrapped all the way around a tree, and there is definitely one on it. If I can get it out of the tree. Oh, another flathead, Justin. Another flathead, but
video close. Wait till he stops moving. And back out, show nothing's on it. All the way. Still in the same place. So video close. Wait till he stops moving. And back out, show nothing's on it. All the way. What is he? Hey guys, I don't know how much of this one pulling we got on camera, but he was on a drop line that I barely saw. He's a 15 pounder. We got a video of that too that we'll have to put on there, but yeah, big old 15-pound flathead. I'm gonna send him back to our little tournament we got going. We are still in the lead. Oh yeah, he was happy. But our little tournament we got going. We're still in the lead. So we'll see how we do in this next hole.
It's
This
so
is a
long.
gar, guys. We do not like them on our hooks, and they're not very good in the river because one, well, as you see, they eat all of our bait. It's pretty dangerous to get off the hook. No one comes back. Justin, if you would cut camera, please. Anyway, took care of that gar problem. God, I don't know if my brother got on video or not, but that sucker jumped in the boat. You get it on video?
I think I did.
Okay, good. But yeah, let's hope we get your catfish on the next few, but that's a gar. They're very common in this part of the river. There is a bunch of them here. Tons and tons of them. They eat pretty good. They're kind of hard to clean. You got a pair of these scissors. Man, if this brand would sponsor me, if Kudu would sponsor me, that'd be absolutely amazing. Doubt it though, because I'm not popular on YouTube whatsoever. So, that's where we're at now. But we got this one strung back up, and we were going to go on to the next one, and maybe we'll get a good fish. Alright guys, so if you look up here, I saw us at this one yesterday, I think. But you see how that line stretched out like that? That means there's a pretty good chance that there's a fish on it. So, when we get up here, it's going to swing me perfect for Jessica's video here. But yeah, it is stretched tight, man. Let's hope it's not hung up. It'd be awesome if there's actually a fish on it. Jessica, can you pull there? Do you mind?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab this string here. Hopefully it's not just hung. Ah, man, he got off. Alright, put it back. Alrighty, folks, we're pulling up here on our trot line. This is the one that we set yesterday. We're about to see how good it went. It starts right here. I'm gonna ask Justin if you can grab that tree. Just the tree. You don't have to grab the
Okay.
Alright, I got it. It's okay. We're gonna start running. Feel like nothing. Not always a good sign. Keep going. Man, we're hung like hung right here. Ah, there we go. Well, nothing on the trot line. Almost bent the hook back, but see, this circle part goes all the way to there. Well, good for today. We got a 15-pounder and a 9-pound flathead. That's pretty good. Alright, everybody, that's it for today's video. Or for today's video. Today we caught a 15 and a 9-pound flathead. right now we're in the lead. If we catch a bigger fish tomorrow, there will be a part 2. But as for today, that's it. A lot of good action, setting lines and checking lines. But y'all have a good one. Peace out.